Well, there's a place I've come to know well, led by a man named Sty. He's full of stories, he is quite a guy. Sit around the campfire and hear him tell his tale. Some may be able to relate to him quite well. We're all just people looking for a place to go. Well, Sty has made one, and it is quite a show. Come meet Sty, he's quite the guy. If you're feeling lonely, come and make a friend. If you need a story, on Sty you can depend. His voice is soothing like a lullaby. Sometimes he brings a tear to my eye. Sit around the campfire and hear him tell his tale. Some may be able to relate to him quite well. We're all just people looking for a place to go. Well, Sty has made one, and it is quite a show. Come meet Sty, he's quite the guy.
Hi guys! Hey, it's good to see ya. Hey, another Sunday. Yeah, here we go. Another Sunday. Yeah, I told you I'm gonna be here as long as I'm around. I'm gonna be here on Sundays. You betcha. Let's shout out some of these folks that are out in the chat. Only a few out there today. That'll change. People start chatting after we get going a bit. But Metal Music, of course, Harry's got to be the first one out there. And he goes, how's that log splitter doing these days? Well, I'll tell you. The log splitter's doing great. All tarped up and put away for the winter. I got 3 feet of snow on top of all the whole wood pile. I ain't shoveling that snow off to split wood. That's a spring project. I got to cut all them logs up into firewood lengths and split it all. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually looking forward to it. I won't be able to go out there and say, oh, I'm going to get this all done in the next 2 days. That ain't left. I don't have that kind of steam in my sails anymore. I'm going to have to go out there and say, I'll split wood for a couple hours, at a time. And so, yeah, this spring project, buddy. Log splitter's doing fine. It's in hibernation. I'll bring it out of hibernation this spring. Hey, Cane's apple. Great to see you there, buddy. Awesome. There's Lou Rock. Hey, Lou Rock. It's cool to see you. Man, it is cool to see you. I love seeing some of my old faces, folks popping in. That's so awesome. There's the Virginia Bushcrafter. You betcha. Everybody knows I love the bushcrafting community. Justin Anderson. Good afternoon, Sty. Before I forget, did you get my email about your summer sausage? Yes, I did, and I'm sorry. And just say that's okay or whatever in the chat. Can I just email you my address? I'll do that, buddy. I'll do that. You can have my address. I'll give you my physical address. I'll do that after the show, okay? Or during the show during a slow period or something. But I'll send you my address. It's very, very simple. It's almost as simple as my P.O. box, but I get it. They won't ship to a P.O. box. Okay. There's Peppers. Hey, Peppers. Peppers Country Club. Great to see you, Peppers. Yes, awesome. Okay, Justin, that's great. That'll work. Awesome. Thank you. So, real quick, before I pull somebody out of the basement, I want to show you I don't know how your day is going, but this is what it looks like out my front window. Yep. Oh boy, look at the snow. Yeah, the snowbanks are about 28 inches deep. Um, got the great old Cub Cadet sitting right out front there, ready to go for the next one. Ready to go for the next one. Yeah. It's a winter wonderland. I wonder when it's going to get to where we can see land again. That's that's the way I see it. So here we go. We got a guy here. We're going to chat with him while he's working. You betcha. Hey, running water.
Howdy, y'all.
Yep, there he is working, pounding down the highway. He's heading towards Albany, New York. Poor dumb bastard.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm starting to pass these signs here in Pennsylvania that says like 20 miles up ahead, no empty commercial vehicles allowed after 5 p.m. So they must have something coming in.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
5
want
p.m. today.
they want all the empty rigs off the road, man. They're the ones that lose it when it starts storming. They can't stop where the shit, and the wind blows them all over the highway. Yeah, I get that. I get that. It's the next best thing to a road closing. I always thought about that. There were times when I ran out west that they closed the interstate. Well, twice I can remember where I got past the gate, and there they got their crew right out there at the gate. I passed the gate comes down behind me. I'm the last rig they let through. And I'm like, if I can make it through, what about those 30 rigs behind me? Why can't they come too? But on the way down some of those grades, I'm going, oh, thank God I'm running heavy, because there are all these empty rigs laying on their sides, off in the median, all over the place. It was all the empties that were getting all screwed up.
Yeah, well, and it's a lot less stressful knowing that there's nobody coming from behind you, too.
That helped. That helped. All I had to do was concentrate straight ahead of me. I knew there was nobody behind me anymore. All I had to do was aim that son of a bitch down the mountain. That's scary enough, trying to make sure you got open slots. Just keep your rig in control and aim for those open slots, because you had them going off all over the place. And it's just like, oh, Jesus, if you had a straight shot, it wouldn't be so bad, Hey, Tim, it's good to see you, Kirk Whipper, Voyager Center. Yeah, gosh almighty. I'll just update folks out there. My week, it's like I was telling running water. Procedures I had to go through this week. We're kind of up there on the weird shit-o-meter, level, right around an 8. I had a port put in for my chemotherapy. And now I've known several people that have had these ports. Now I know what they went through. That's some weird crap, man. They implant this contraption under your skin, and then they run a tube through you. It's a catheter kind of thing, goes through you, and they went through my jugular vein, and then they go down towards your heart with it. And that's where they put the chemo. Well, everything they do, no more IVs, no more needle stuff. It all goes through that port. The thing is, okay, it makes it easier for them. Doesn't make it easier for you. It makes it easier for them. Now I got this big lump on my chest about the size of a U.S. quarter, and it sticks out about a half an inch. So you got your rib cage, is usually pretty smooth, and then you got this big lump in the middle. It's like, shit, that's weird, man. You feel that lump over there, and if you had that lump without them putting something under there, yeah, you better go see a doctor. Hey, I got this big lump on my chest. What the heck is that? Well, the procedure was pretty straightforward. I told them, I said, now you're going to knock me out to do this stuff, because they did a liver biopsy too at the same time. I said, you're going to knock me out for this stuff, right? And they said, well, no, we're going to heavily sedate you, and we'll give you an anti-anxiety med that'll make you not care what we do to you. I said, if I'm aware of what you're doing to me, I care. I guarantee. Even if I don't feel it, I said, you got to knock my ass out. They said, we can't. They said, in order to totally knock you out, we have to put a tube down your airway and all that crap. And they said the procedure's only about 45 minutes, beginning to end. And they said, so no, we'll just be sedating. I said, I'm telling you, if you don't knock me out, somebody near this table is going to get knocked out. I'll punch somebody right in the teeth. I said, I don't want to know nothing you're doing until after I wake up. The anesthesiologist leaned down, whispered in my ear. He said, don't worry about it, Sty. He says, you won't remember nothing. You won't feel nothing. He says, I'll take good care of you. And I said, and you're sure of that? He goes, uh-huh. He said, I'm going to pump you up real good. And he said, the anti-anxiety med we use, he said, I'm not kidding. Even if it hurt, you'd laugh about it. You wouldn't give a shit. I'm going to make sure you're in happy land. He done a good job. He done a real good job. When I woke up, I was in my room. I woke up in my room. Because that was the last thing he said to me. He says, consider it, you haven't slept for nights, and you got a chance to take a nice hour and a half nap. And you're going to just go into the deepest sleep you've ever had. He says, picture it that way as I administer this, and you'll come out of this just happy as can be. Well, he was right. He was good. And I told him, I said, I don't trust people, medicine anymore. I trust what they do for me, but I don't trust when they say, oh, if they say, oh, you're going to feel a little prick. Oh, no. That prick is that long, that big around. No, don't tell me, oh, this will sting a little. No, that means it's going to frickin' hurt.
Oh, that's like the dentist telling you, oh, you're going to feel a little pressure. It's like, no, that is pain. No, it's just pressure.
When it makes every bone in your body rattle, that's a little pressure. Yeah, you're right, Running Water. You're absolutely right. And I told him, I just don't trust this soft approach crap that you guys give us, Just tell me what it's going to be like, and I'll tell you what you're going to need to do to make sure I don't punch you in the mouth, And he took good care of me. And he actually stopped in my room before I was discharged, and he asked how it went. He wanted to know if he had done me well. And he says, I said, you did such a good job. I said, I want you just assigned to me whenever they do a procedure. He says, that's a done deal. All you do is reference this procedure and tell them you want that anesthesiologist. And they'll assign me to you. They'll put me on you. I said, that's cool. If I ever come back here for a procedure, I want you, man. You're good for your word. He was good for his word. Hey, Cheesehead. He goes, oh, suck it up, Buttercup. Yeah, suck it up. But it's a weird shit, man. Having this tube, I can feel that catheter under the skin too, running from that thing all the way up, and then it disappears because it goes in my neck and then down my what the hell do they call that? The big vein in your neck. Anyway, so they did that. They told me they wanted me not to do anything heavy. Don't be lifting anything. They said, just, you can be mobile, you can fix your dinner stuff, but don't be lifting stuff. Don't be exerting yourself in any fashion for at least 3 days. And I said, 3 days. And they said, well, yeah. They said, Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, you can start doing more normal things. They said once your port area where we opened, you have to put the port in, is totally healed, then you can go back to your normal activities. Well, Friday, we had snowstorms from Wednesday night all the way into Friday morning. My youngest boy said, "Oh, yeah, the juggler vein there, Peppers." Yeah. So we had snowstorm. My youngest boy says, "Hey, Pop, I'll come on Saturday and I'll do your snow blowing for you." Well, we got a brand new snow blower. I mean, it costs Running Water over $1,300 to get that thing. And there it is sitting out there. And I thought, I ain't going to let him run that snowblower. That thing's brand new. No, I'm running it.
I haven't
So-
even run it yet.
No, Running Water hasn't even run it yet. This old man kind of just, yeah, that's my baby, you know? So Friday, I'm going, God, I feel so good. I had my breakfast. And I was feeling pretty good. A little bit of pain, but nothing major. And I thought, yeah, that snowblower, if I let it do the job, I don't try to force it, you know, try to do things that I shouldn't, I can get this done. So I did. I went out and I spent the total snow blowing, shoveling. I had to chisel out a whole shitload of frozen up slush crap at the end of our sidewalk out at the street, about 2 foot deep, just solid, just ice and crap. Had to chisel all that out. It's quite a bit, but it usually takes me an hour and 15 minutes to do the whole place. That's all our sidewalks and around the house, both sides, and our back parking area. Well, it took me 2 hours Friday. Why? Because I had to chisel all that crap out by the street. That was 20 minutes. That was an extra 20 minutes. Plus, once I got the snowblower into that chiseled out crap, it picked up a good heavy piece of ice. It was enough to shear 2 of the shear pins on the auger. So I had to come in the house, look for our manual and the kit that comes with it. Yep, it's got 2 spares in it. I went and popped those in and finished the job. But 2 hours of working out there when I wasn't supposed to do anything till the following day. I come in and I'm going, God, I feel tired, but it's one of those healthy tireds where you felt good about the work you did. So my kid shows up yesterday, comes in the house. He goes, "Who the heck did you have come and snow blow for you?" I said, "Nobody." He goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "I did it." "You ain't supposed to be doing that." He starts chewing me out. Oh, shut up. I do what I can. I don't do what I'm not supposed to. I do what I can. And that's it, is I'm supposed to be able to do whatever I'm up to doing. And I was up to it. So, yeah, that was pretty cool. So yesterday, I kind of took it easy yesterday. I just ate a lot and visited with the kid. And, yeah, and life goes on. I'm ready for the next go-round of the snow. Oh, by the way, Running Water,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, it won't get much use, but can I use your truck for the rest of the winter?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Because then I can quit snow blowing in front of mine.
Yeah.
And I go out and start mine up about every 4 days and let her run for a half hour, 45 minutes. But getting it out and about is such a pain in the butt. Where your truck's parked, man, that's a straight shot. I got the end of the driveway all open. I got an area for putting the garbage cans and stuff done. And I thought, now I got this whole section in front of my truck and down the sides of the truck. I got to air up that one bum tire on it, get it out of here, snow blow up towards the back of the shed. And I thought, I got to thinking, I'm going to ask Running Water, can I use your truck for the winter? Because I only go out and about usually once a week, and that's if I
Right.
need
Well, and
meds or
if it's just me driving it, I put a total of about 200 miles a year on that
year
thing.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's probably about the total I'll put on in the next 2 months, 3 months, running to Walmart and back and to the medicine shop, to the pharmacist and back, doctor's appointments, that kind of thing. But I'd be surprised if I put 200 miles on in 2 months. Nowhere I go is
Right.
over 5 miles from here. So
Right.
I'll tell you what, I had to use a medical transport to get myself up to Duluth, Minnesota to have this surgery done. Well, I'd never used an outfit like that before. Well, I did this time. They had to pick me up at 5 o'clock in the morning, right? To get up there so I could be checked in and everything by 7 o'clock. Well, I'm all set, ready to go, standing here at the front door, watching out the front door, waiting for them to pull up at about 10 to 5. Sure enough, they pulled up right on schedule. I go out there, get in the van. There's nobody else in the van, just me. So I sat up front with the driver. And it's a young gal. And the roads were nasty. They were just ice covered. Everything was ice covered. And so she had her hands full getting up there. But boy, did we do a lot of BSing on the way up there for over an hour and a half. Come to find out, she's a boat captain. Up to what is she? I think it's 500 ton. So that's pretty good sized vessel. And she captains the big charter boats on Lake Superior. And I said, "What are you doing driving this medical transport?" She goes, "Well, I'm a captain, and I'm captain of this little ship." She says, "There ain't a heck of a lot for us captains to do in the North Country during the winter when the lakes are froze up." She said, "Everything that I operate is all dry docked for the winter." She said, "So I do this during the winter." She said, "I really make a year's worth of income being a captain, but," she said, "I do this so I have something to do all winter." I said, "Well, that's cool. At least you got a good story to tell to your passengers, Yeah, that was cool. I got to hear her story. Hey, plain old Chuck says, "Hello, everyone. You can use my truck, Sty. I'm not leaving the house till the temp matches my age." Oh, shit. Yeah. Yeah. I can't wait till the temperature matches my age. Yeah. In just a few more weeks, it'd be perfect temp, 66 degrees. Yeah, I'll be on old Route 66. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Hey. Hey, Kimberly Ferris. Good to see you, girl. Awesome. There's Bradley. Bradley's in the house. It's just another Sunday, Bradley. Yeah. I'm getting my minimum dose of YouTube today. I watch everybody. I don't say much. I watch. I sit in our living room here and I watch you guys, your postings on the big screen. And the only way I can chat watching it on the TV is to have the phone going at the same time. And I hate the phone. I'm telling you, I got to the point where I don't want to type nothing in there anymore. And I can't use voice to text because that stupid phone thinks I'm talking in Japanese or something because it don't understand half the shit I say. So I gave up on voice to text. Yeah. The I thought it would get better as time went on. It's actually gotten worse. I mean, I thought it would recognize what I'm saying and the corrections I make. No, it ain't learning nothing. The so far,
Well,
so
you could
much
always use the tablet.
the because it's bigger, Yeah, but
Well, it's got that Bluetooth keyboard.
oh, that's right. That's right. You got that. You put that in the pouch with it, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah, I suppose I could. It's just another piece of something that I got to have on my corner of the couch. Yeah, Justin out there saying hi to everybody. That's good, Justin. It's great to see you, Matt J. There's Mr. Fulton. There you go. First Special Olympics basketball game tomorrow night. Have a good time. That's what it's all about. You don't have to win. Just go out there and have a good time. But yeah, I really, I was going to do that tonight, but I don't think so. But I gotta veg on my PlayStation one of these days. I haven't been. I've been just watching movies, man. I've been watching all my old favorites and watching series. I watched Vikings Valhalla for the third frickin' time, all the way through the series, and yeah, that was one of those binge watches. Just started it and kept it going. I mean, I lost sleep watching that damn thing. But when all you feel like doing is sitting and being entertained and eat, I'm having a heck of a time. I've cut myself off. Boom, boom, boom. I only am going to the store from this day forward until some of this food is gone for necessities, absolute necessities. No more of, oh, that looks good. Oh, shit, no. Everybody come on over to my place for dinner. I'm sure we can feed y'all. I got so damn much food here, I don't know what to do with it all. So I'm looking at stuff to freeze. I went and bought myself a pack of boneless pork short ribs because I want some barbecue short ribs. Well, when the fuck am I going to fix them? I mean, because I also got 3 small sirloin steaks. Well, I got to eat those too. Well, I've got a big slab of 2 big slabs of ham. Well, I got to eat those too. And I can keep going down the list. I got so much to eat here. It's insane. It's insane. I bought this big ass package of English muffins. There's 12 English muffins in the pack, right? And they're nice sized English muffins, good ones. There's only 2 English muffins left in that pack. I bought that pack 3 days ago. That's insane. I'm sitting there eating 2 English muffins at a time, which is 4 halves, of course, just smothered with butter and peanut butter and jelly. But I caught myself yesterday going, wait a minute, this is the 3rd time you're doing that today. Stop that, Sty. I ate so much yesterday. When I went to bed last night, I had to sleep almost sitting at a 90-degree angle because I'll aspirate if I lay flat. The food in my stomach will come right back up. There's nothing to stop it. They removed that sphincter that keeps that crap in your stomach. So I can't lay flat, right? Well, for the most part, in the worst case, I got to be somewhat at an angle. 15, 20 degrees is usually plenty to be comfortable. Oh no, not last night. I had to sleep almost at a 90 degree angle just to keep the food in because I ate so damn much. It was full. I was so full, stuffed. If I tipped over just 10 degrees, it wanted to come back out because there was no room for it all. And the worst part was, I'm laying there going, "This is nuts. I don't dare lay flat. I'll aspirate. I'll drown with my own food." And what was going through my mind? Damn, bowl of ice cream with bananas and maraschino cherries and some caramel sauce on it would be awful good right now. No, it wouldn't have been good at all. That wouldn't have turned out good at all. But yeah, Justin's making himself a ribeye for dinner. Awesome. Awesome. I'm going to have one of my sirloin steaks tonight for dinner. I got to, right after the stream, I got to get to work into my kitchen. I got a bunch of things to do yet today. So we'll probably keep the stream to 2 hours today. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Probably 2 hours. Because I got to do dishes. I haven't done dishes in about a week and a half. And it's less than a sink of dishes. I mean, it'll take me 20 minutes beginning to end to do my dishes. I just haven't. I look at it and go, yeah, that's something that can be done tomorrow. Look at all the dishes we got. Look at all of the. We use a lot of paper around here. Paper plates, paper bowls, paper this, paper that. You know, toilet paper, paper towels. You know, everything's paper, paper, paper. Mr. Z. There it is. Look at this. You're killing me, Sty. I'm getting a colonoscopy tomorrow and I can't eat. Just drink fluids. I'm hungry. I have food staring me in the face, but I'm glad you're eating and your procedure went well. Mr. Z, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I know colonoscopies, they suck. They're much better now than they were when I had my first one done. Oh, much better. Oh yeah, they sedate you now, and you get through it. It's not such a big deal. When I had my first one done, oh no, they come at you with the big old black snake, you know, gonna run that through your back door. Then they have a nurse hanging on to you because they pump your colon full of air so they can look at it real well. Well, when they pump that full of air, you'd swear, you pull that thing out of there, I'm going to fart so hard it's going to blow you right out the door. It hurt so bad, them blowing your guts up like that. I said, oh my God, it was terrible. It was terrible. Second time they did it, oh, they sedated me. I didn't even know what the hell was going on. And I actually fell asleep. And they woke me up as they're getting me back in my room. Well, I just woke up. And I said, oh, are they done? And the gal said, yeah, you're all done. I said, boy, that was nothing like the first time I had that. First time I had it done, I wanted to kill everybody in the hospital. Yeah. You can't do that to people. I said, yeah, it's not right. Not right. But yeah, I remember no eating that. The very first one was the worst one because I didn't get to eat for 3 days. I got to sip liquids, but they cleaned me out so damn to the point where the only thing that came out the back door was water. I mean, they cleaned me out so good. Yeah, you could have taken a stroll in your Sunday duds down my colon and not get your feet dirty. That was rough because I've always been an eater. I want to eat. I want food.
Well, and you're never hungrier than when they make you do a fast before tests. You know, it's like, don't eat after 11. And it's like 11 o'clock comes. It's like,
you're starved. Right?
Well,
at 11.
That last time when I was home, you know, they're like, yep, need a fast the night before. And then get that message, 7 a.m. Your appointment's been canceled. We need to reschedule.
Yeah,
It's
and you're
like
like,
I've been starving all night for nothing.
for nothing. Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Z, I
Gotta
was
make up for
wide
lost
awake.
time.
Yeah, I was wide awake for the first one. Yeah. Oh yeah, there was no it wasn't happy. I wasn't happy. Yeah, I had stories, dark stories about the big black snake.
Yeah,
It's not
they're
that.
wrapping it up like a garden hose, and
You can shut up too. That shut up. The when I saw that, and I'm going, that's what you're going to be using. They're going, well, yeah. Huh? It's got, and he even explained it's got this lens on the end, and we can look at all these different angles as we go up through it. Well, that snake's about as big around as my point finger. I said, what the hell? You got to use a 35 millimeter camera to do that? I mean, they do make things like my spy pen. That's not so big. You don't need that big. No. Oh yeah.
well, that's like that monofilament fiber optic camera deal I've got for looking in the walls and figuring out where the wiring's at and stuff. It's like
Yeah.
little thicker than fishing line. Like,
Well, that's today. That's not the way it was back then. Back then, it was, oh yeah, hey, let's strap a camera to the end of this garden hose.
yeah,
It might
hey,
be
we're
it might
doing.
be a little uncomfortable, but
You're lucky. This one's Betamax. We used to have to use the full VHS camcorder to go up there.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, Mr. Z. I tell you what, the yeah, my heart goes out to you. That's one of those procedures again that they just have not figured out how to make. Taking the pills part, that helps, because when they did it to me, they had me taking the pills, then they had me drinking that. I can't remember what the hell it's called, but it's a cherry flavored clear liquid. You got to drink two big glasses of that, and they put you through that a couple times, and then they nail you with that big ass enema. They come in the room and they got that big old bag, and you go, whoa, wait a minute, that bag's as big as my torso, for God's sake. They go, you'd be surprised, we'll get the majority of that bag in you. I said, it's not the getting it in me that worries me, it's the getting it out of me. You better stay out of the way. And yeah, they flush you out pretty damn good. Well, now they've tailored that down so much. That's just like when they do the barium contrast. I found out, no, I don't want to do the pre-contrast process where the night before you drink that white frickin' barium chalky crap and you can't eat for all these hours, blah, blah, blah. Now I can, for them to do the contrast x-rays of my system from my neck all the way down to the back door, I go in an hour and a half before the procedure and I drink this grape flavored clear, it's just like Kool-Aid. It's two big glasses you got to drink, but you drink that and off you go to x-ray, and they put a contrast in your veins and that contrast that you just drank, and they get as clear a picture as if you did the barium the night before thing. No, thank you. Yeah, Mr. Z says his wife's forcing him, or he'd be eating right now. There you go. Good for your wife. Good for your wife. Yeah, he says, my wife drank the liquid. It was a lot. I said, I ain't drinking all that. It looked like a gallon. Yeah. And so now they've down the procedures I go through now where they x-ray, they want to look at all my guts, my plumbing basically from my chin down. And so I drink 2 big glasses of this grape Kool-Aid shit. And that's cool. That's cool. She first set those 2 glasses down because I aspirate if I lay flat, right? Things will come back out of my stomach. I said, if I put all of that fluid in me, because it's like 32 ounces, the 2 of them together. I said, if I put all that fluid, no, it's not no, I take that back. They're 24 ounces a piece, so that's 48 ounces. So if I put all that fluid in me, if I lay down flat within an hour, I got to wait at least an hour. Because if I lay down flat, that's just going to pour right back out. It's going to pour right back out my throat. And she said, we'll be prepared if it wants to pour back out. She said, don't worry about it. But if you can get it into you, it'll be about 45 minutes to an hour before we do the procedure. So most of it will be out of your stomach by then. Yeah, it worked out great. And I looked at it and I go, yep, doctor hands you this shit in a glass. You need to drink this. You can count on it. You can count on it. It's like castor oil. It ain't going to taste good. It ain't going to taste good. That shit they want you to drink never tastes good. I took a sip of that through the straw. And I'm going, oh my God. It was just like I was thrown way the hell back in history, back to my childhood days. It tasted just like the good old-fashioned grape Kool-Aid. I sucked those 2 glasses down so fast. It was so good. I said, for this nasty procedure, at least you made it pleasant, Yeah. I'm really, one thing this whole experience has done for me, it hasn't been good, but it has educated me an awful lot. I mean, I have people saying, well, Sty, they're going to do this to you and that to you. It's going to be like this, it's going to be like that. And now I ask people before they tell me how it's going to be. I ask them right away, have you gone through that? Have you done that? Well, no, but I know. Oh, shut up. I don't want to hear from you. I want to talk to the guy that just had the same thing done. Don't tell me that you know and that you've never done it. Oh, now I know. Now I know. Some of that shit I thought, well, that would have been uncomfortable. Bullshit. No, it's freaking miserable. It ain't uncomfortable. It's miserable. And then I think of the people that I knew that had gone through it, and I go, I never felt bad enough for them. I've never felt bad enough for them. They had to go through that shit. And that's, it really has opened my eyes on how to be empathetic to people that go through things that you have not personally experienced. And the worst part is we all react to certain things differently. Some of us have higher pain tolerances than others, and some of us don't get weirded out over stuff. Now, like they put that port in my chest this last week, that weirded me out, man. It still weirds me out. I got this thing under my skin, man, and it's going to be there the rest of my life. Not that my life's going to be that terribly long anymore, but it's still going to be there, right? There. I even came out and asked the surgeon. I said, "That thing you're putting in my chest today?" She was showing what's going to go in my chest. I'm looking at that thing. I'm going, "Oh shit, that's weird." I said, "Now that thing you're putting in my chest, I'm going to be cremated when I die. Is that thing going to have to be in my box with me for eternity?" And she looked around at all of her surgical assistants and the anesthesiologist like she's looking for an answer from one of them. And she goes, Sty, I don't know. Because you're going to have that the rest of your life. She goes, I really don't know. Well, the anesthesiologist kind of came up with the answer. He said, well, it might sound morbid, but he said, if you have a pacemaker and you pass away and you're being cremated, they cremate you with the pacemaker still in there. They don't surgically remove that just to cremate you, but they remove those parts after the cremation. And I said, but this thing, look at it. It's plastic. It's almost all plastic. There's just a couple little pieces of metal in it. Otherwise, it's all plastic. And the surgeon goes, I don't know, maybe like you've seen plastic burn and melt. Maybe it clumps up like that and they can pick it out. I said, that just jacks it up a little higher on the weird shit-o-meter. I mean, yeah.
Gonna have to run Sty through a flour sifter to get all his extra parts out.
Yeah, Justin Anderson. My grandma just had one done. She called it drinking poison. I act tough, but I can be a wussy sometimes. I do feel more sorry for older people. I always ask people, where are the golden years? Sounds like the rough years. That's okay. That's the way I'm looking at it. They call it the golden years, the golden years. Really, it's the rusty old junk truck years. Ain't no gold. It's just a rusty old junk. I mean, I still say I would have preferred if I could have had from the age of 20 to 35, 40 off, retired. I've got a consistent income and I can do what I want between the ages of 20 and 45. And then from 45 on until I can't fucking stand anymore, I have to work. That's the way I wish it would have gone. I wish so. I really wish it would have. I wish they could have let me retire at the front end. And then I'll work at the back end. Okay? That would have been so much better. I kind of the same attitude I've got about abortion. You should not be allowed to get an abortion. You cannot abort a child before the age of 16. But from 16 to 21, you can abort. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see how the kids turn it out. Then we'll decide whether we want to abort them or not.
Yeah, because they always use the argument that that baby could have been the next Einstein. It's like, yeah, could have been the next Hitler too. We won't know until they get a little older. But once they get older, let's make that choice.
Let's see. When they're going through their teens, you can kind of tell. Look at that kid; he's evil as sin. Yeah, I think we better abort him at about 17. But as a baby, you don't know. You could be aborting somebody important. Hey, Samantha Lee, my sweetheart. There you are. Oh, I love you, girl. Love you, love you. At 71, the only thing golden on me is my urine. Yeah, and you don't want it too golden because that means your kidneys are failing. They always ask me that. You have any trouble urinating? Well, no. In fact, I should change my pants now. No, but
yeah.
And then they say, do you have dark urine? Well, what's dark? They don't give you a damn chart. They don't say, well, is it this color, that color, that? For pain, 1 through 10, where's your pain level? Well, if you want to know the color of my urine, why don't you give me a scale and say, oh, it's an 8. Is it dark or not? Well, if it's dark all the time, you don't know. No, it looks good. I mean, what the hell? Some of this stuff is really goofy. The
Well, I get a kick out of, when I have people tell me, that, should quit smoking because, that's
Amy
taking
Berry.
10 years off your life. Smoking's taking 10 years off your life. And I'm like, yeah, that's the 10 years where I'm not going to know my own name, can't go to the bathroom by myself. It's like,
Yeah,
I won't know where I'm at, so yeah, if we can just skip those 10 years, I'd be okay with that. You know,
yeah. Hey, Roberto. Hello, hello. I'm doing good today. I'm doing good today. I live my life one day at a time, and this is a good one. I'm having a good day today. I look at you guys. Oh, it's been a good year, or it's been a good season. Oh, it's been a good month. This old guy, I look at it. Oh man, it's been a good day. It's been a good day. But my years aren't months anymore. My months aren't months. They're weeks, days, hours. So yeah, if you want to talk about how did my year go, I'll let you know at the end of the month. Yeah, it's hard to believe. We're getting close to February. Getting close to February. I turned 66. 66 next month. That's so hard to believe. Uh, um, I don't know. Life. What an adventure. What an adventure. Uh, I can't. I can't even imagine how it was it used to be for so long that people, you never thought about lifespan, Why worry about lifespan? Um, so, and to me, it's like, well, now it's, oh my gosh. I'm not going to survive another 2 or 3 years. That really sucks. I'm 88 years old and they say I'm going to die in 2 years. What? And life is so short, eh? I'm starting to get a lot more realistic with myself about life expectancy. And no, I will have had 66, 67 years. That's a lot of years. I was reminiscing earlier today and on things that I knew in the past, and I'm going, holy God, it's like two different worlds. Yeah. Hey, Step Van Dan is in the house, by the way. It's great to see you. Awesome, Dan. It's awesome to see you. I won't be streaming on my birthday. The day after is a Sty Shack Sunday, so we'll talk about my birthday on that day. My bird day. We don't have birthdays anymore. I don't get that either, we have birthdays throughout our life every year. Birthday. It's his birthday. Let's get together, have cake, and have a party. Yay, it's his birthday. Why don't you have death days? I mean, because then that person, the celebration goes on for a long time. Until everybody that knew you pass away, but they won't forget you fast if you have good death day parties. If you have a really good death day party, they'll remember you for hundreds of years. Oh, you bet. I got to go to his death day party. They always have a good one. Come on.
Yeah.
I would have attended a few of those, I'm sure. It's free cake and ice cream, and you get to see a clown and have a fun time. And yeah.
Well, there's a professor down there in Iowa used to hang out the same bar as us, him and his wife. He's an anthropologist. His wife is a sociologist, and he had a great theory. I think about it now and again. He said, really, like when you're born, you should be 65 years old,
And it goes back
every year, and it goes down. And when you hit 0, you don't have to work anymore. You get to have whatever you want, and no laws apply to you. Go.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
yeah. Once you hit 0, you could do whatever you want.
Yeah. It's open season. That's right. That's right. Yeah, step in, Dan. You get to the stage where I'm at, they give you your ticket out of here. They tell you, yeah, we can't tell you the exact year. We can't tell you the exact month. We can't tell you the week, the day, or the hour. But we do know the max it'll be. There's no way you're going to make it beyond that point. They tell you that. And that's why I was saying, every day to me is like a week. Every day right now feels like a week. If someone says, have a nice day, well, I'm going to have 7 of them today. I'm going to have 7 nice times today because no, I don't have enough time left to have 7 days to make my week. I got to get a week's worth in every day. I got, and that's it. I mean, and it is what it is,
Well, I'll have to be extra careful about introducing you to games that suck up a whole month or 2 of your life.
Yeah. Well, and I always, and this goes way back, I joked about it back then. But I said they need to retitle birthdays to your death day, because the minute you're born, guess what you're born into? Death.
Yeah, you're dying.
You're dying. The minute you're born, you're dying. No wonder we come out crying and screaming, oh my God, I'm going to die. Yeah, because it's true. I mean, that's the beginning of your death. Some come sooner than others. But in all honesty, our birth is the beginning of our death. And yeah, someone says, oh, I just found out today I'm dying. I could have told you that. How old are you? Well, I'm 69 years old. I could have told you that 69 years ago that you're dying. We all have to. We all have to take that last voyage, and yeah, Justin, death and taxes. Welcome to the world. That's it. I mean, yeah, and I think that brings you to a quicker death. Taxes. Yeah. That because the stress and the worry will speed up your demise, right? Yeah, Step Van Dan. I sure hope so. I'm going to coach Running Water when I get near my end on how to keep my channel alive as long as he's alive. And then maybe he can pass it on to somebody else. Say, hey, here's the torch. Keep Grandpa Sty and my channels alive by doing this. So it takes one thing. Only takes one thing once a year for you to guarantee that your channel stays up for perpetuity, forever. Yeah, Samantha, you're so right. You're so right. Stress will take you down quickly. It sure will. It sure will. And I hope you can tell by my tone, Samantha, Sty's not feeling as much stress right now. Yeah. I'm able to put some of that shit aside. I I don't I come right out. My youngest boy got on a couple of family topics yesterday that I knew they'd be a little stressful to even talk about. Because you can talk about some things all day and nothing will change, right? So if nothing's going to change, why even talk about it, right? So I informed him of that. On this subject, don't ever bring it up because that'll never change, no matter how much we talk about it. Because if we talk about it, all we do is feel stress over it because we want something to change. Give it up. Just give it up. The stress ain't worth it. Ain't worth the time. Nobody's got time for that shit. I wish I had thought that way better years ago. I would have probably been even a healthier man through my life. Yeah, I just won't. If it's going to be stressful, hey, I'll leave you on your own. You can go ahead and stress yourself over that shit. I ain't. Doesn't mean I don't care. Just means I ain't going to deal with it. If you want to deal with it, have at it. Don't include me because I'm not going to participate in your stressful bullshit. I just know I don't want to go there. Just let me relax. Bradley says, I've been holding something in, but my wife's dad has lung and colon cancer. The cancer ate a hole through his lung, and the cancer is wrapped around his colon. He's 79 years old. He's slowly dying. Yeah, I mean, it's, yeah. Yeah, life is going to have its way with us. It just is. Life is not fair. There's no doubt about it. When people say, this ain't fair, that ain't fair, you know what's really not fair? Life. Life in general ain't fair. For some people, boy, they live to be 105 years old and they fall asleep one night and never wake up. Never suffered any pain. They never had a surgery. They'd never had a broken bone. Lived to be 105 and fell asleep and never woke up. There's other people healthy as can be. And I think of old sweetheart, Carolyn Kennard. She was a marathon runner. If you saw pictures of her when she was a young gal, well, she passed away as a young gal, but when she was younger, she's running marathons, and you could just seeing her, you go, oh, there's one healthy gal there, boy. She's as healthy as can be. And then, boom, cancer got her. She wasn't a smoker, a drinker, no bad habits, nothing. Watched her diet, always concerned about her health. Push, push, push. Be healthy. Cancer snuck up on her, got her. 11 years she was able to fight that cancer before she succumbed to it. But it still got her. Life ain't fair. Life ain't fair. It's like I tell I've had people preaching at me. Sty, you need to quit smoking. Before I was even diagnosed with terminal cancer, you got to stop smoking. And as recent as within the last year, get preached at about smoking and needing to stop. And I told them, I've been smoking for 53 years. Do you think quitting now is going to help me at all? My own cancer doctor, he told me, he says, I do not expect you to stop smoking. I don't expect you to cut back on your smoking. I expect you to do whatever makes you happy. I don't want you to hurt yourself, but if it makes you happy, you do whatever you want. He said, you can Smoke more if you want. He said, that's totally up to you, because nothing you do on as far as smoking goes is going to give you any longevity. It's not going to help you in any sense whatsoever at this point. So when people preach at you, he said, about quitting smoking, just turn off the, just turn your audio off. Don't listen to it, because they don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, Bradley. Yeah. And I have to say, your father-in-law really has to be the person that makes that choice. Does he want to go that far? They asked me if I had a no resuscitate order, not to resuscitate me if my heart stops or my breathing stops. And I said, no. They said, do you want one? I said, no. They said, that means that if your heart stops or you stop breathing, we'll try to get you going again. I said, guess what? Good luck. Good luck. If you can bring me back, oh boy, you did a good job then, didn't you? But if you can't, well, if you can't bring me back from my heart stopping, what's the worst case scenario? I'm going to die? You said I'm going to die in the next 2 years anyway. So good luck. Good luck. Yeah. I told him, I said, guess what? Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. I don't give a shit. I really don't. At this point, this old earthly body of mine, I don't care. I don't. Just cover up the pain side. Do whatever you got to do. Cover up that pain side. I don't want to die miserably and in pain. And they keep assuring me, we're going to make damn sure you don't. We're going to make damn sure you don't. Everything we can do without getting charged with something, we'll do. My doctor said even with the laws in place, they're rules. They can be stretched. They can't be broken, but you can stretch them. He said, and we'll stretch them for you. He says, you'll be comfortable. There you go, Bradley. Yeah, whatever the person going through it so many times, don't make their choice. They're making the choice of others because others press on them. We don't want to lose you. You have to do this. You have to do this. We don't want to lose you. Well, they're going to lose you anyway. Just maybe they might only be giving you extra days, not extra weeks or months or a year. But everybody's saying, but they have to do this for you. We don't want to lose you. Boy, I've been guilty of that. I've been guilty of telling people that are on their last leg, oh man, you got to do what you can. We don't want to lose you. Now I look at it and I go, oh shit, I should have kept my mouth shut. Because it's their choice. It's not ours. It's someone else's. No, it's that individual's choice. And a lot of times I think people make choice out of pressure from others instead of what they really would like. I mean, there's so many people that I've known that they'd love to just, oh, it's time. I just want to see the end. I just want it to end. I'm so tired. I'm so weak. I want it to end. But nobody will let them end it. Nobody will let them make that decision for themselves to just say, it's time for me to give up and I need you to let me. Let me give up. Think about it. Have you ever, I don't think there's anybody in the world that can honestly say they've never done that. Ever told somebody, would you leave me alone and just let me sleep? When have you, think about it. How often in your life have you had someone disturb you when you're trying to sleep? And you say, would you just let me sleep? Please, just let me sleep. I need the sleep. I see it as the same way. You reach your end and you say, please, just let me go. Let me go. Oh, but we need you. No, no. I don't need me anymore. I don't take it to the point where the person suffering from it doesn't need you anymore, right? Because they do. They need to know even if you're not physically present with them, they need to know that you're there for them right to the end. That's what they need to know. But if you pressure them too much, I'm sure that there's a lot of people that took their last breath thinking, I don't give a damn about any of these people around me. Get away from me. I'm done with you. I'm sick of you. Trying to keep me around miserable. Just let me go. You won't let me go. And
Well, and yeah, you see that a lot where people try to get court orders to overthrow a do not resuscitate order, and get a stay on it. That
yeah,
someone's vegetative state, they're brain dead, but they're on life support. It's like at that point, you're not keeping them alive for their sake. You're doing it for yourself.
exactly,
You know.
exactly. And I gave my power of attorney for medical purposes to someone that knows my wishes 100%, and they will tell the doctors yes or no on certain issues, and they will not feel any guilt doing it because it wasn't their choice. In fact, they see it as it's going to be hard for me to tell the doctor, no, this is what he wants, because they're speaking in my behalf. And they said, I wouldn't want you to make that choice, but that's the choice you made. Now I'll carry it out for you. And that's it. Is you gotta make sure that there's someone there that really knows what you want, what you believe is best for you. And that's it. That plain and simple. I had someone the other day ask me, why do you just keep going on YouTube? Why don't you just quit? Why don't you just give it up and just quit? And I said, because in these discussions, I'm hoping that it'll help people. I hope these discussions we have on anything and everything help somebody where they go, oh gosh, I can think about it in a different way and not feel guilty about thinking about it in a different way. And life would be so much easier if I looked at it a different way. And I'm just hoping that, yeah, through our regular conversation, somebody, even if it's just one person out there, goes, damn, that really helped me. That helped me decide where I'm at, what I need to do for myself. And I don't want to lessen doing for others. Just we gotta be there for each other. We do. We really do.
Yeah. Well, and this, being on YouTube like this, it's a dose of reality. There's no kid gloves, no sugarcoating, no filtering it. Everything's so filtered as it is. Oh no, people can't see this, can't see that. It's like, no, people need to see reality.
And
And sometimes reality sucks.
I,
You
I
know.
I appreciate that, Running Water, that you point that out, because all right, and it's one of my favorite films. I'll be watching it again soon. Is Big Fish, and it's about this man's. He's dying. He knows he's dying, Everybody knows he's dying. But his son is kind of disgruntled because he felt that through his whole life, his father lied to him. All his father ever did was tell him these big fish stories, the fish that got away, that everything his dad ever told him were so grandiose and so drama filled. It's all bullshit. Dad was full of shit his whole life, and now I got to sit here next to him at his deathbed, and I don't trust or believe anything he has to say. Until all the characters that his father had in his stories show up for his funeral. You'd think his kid felt a little put back. Like, oh shit, he wasn't lying. He may have dramatized some of it. He may have added color here and there to it, but he wasn't lying. Those people from his past showed up, and there they are. They're real. How much of the rest of his story was real? Oh, yeah. That's it, is the old man kept telling his kid, I ain't going to lie to you, And his kid kept saying, but Dad, we know it's all BS. No, you don't. You aren't me. You weren't there. I'm telling you about my life. But Dad, it's not true. But it was true. His kid refused to believe until all of a sudden, there it was thrown right in his face. And now the kid, like, son of a bitch, I spent my whole adult life not trusting my father because I thought he was a liar. And he wasn't lying. The Stefan Dan, he says, yes, sir, you help a lot of people, buddy. I don't know if I really do or not. I just hope it does. And thank you. That's kind of reassuring. To me, it's frosting on the cake of life, if you know that you managed to help somebody else. Yeah. Hey, Raven. Good to see you, Russell. Mr. Z. Running water is always a good influence. He is always working, and he has my respect. I do hope he'll get time off to have fun with Sty. And Sty has helped many of us in many ways. Okay. Running water and I will have plenty of time together. Yeah. Don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. See, and Running Water knows too. His pop. He's got a life to live. He's got a job to do. And that's not to sit here and babysit his pop. No. He needs to continue his life. And that's what I don't want anybody to do. I don't want anybody to feel that they have to take out of their life for me. If I need you, I'll ask. I guarantee it. I'll ask you. I get that bad off, I'll ask. But I just enjoy people's company and knowing that they're there. They don't have to be right here. Just knowing that they're there. They're there. I can reach out to them. They're there. That's part of my quality of life. Not that they're actually physically here. Babysitting. I don't need a babysitter. I'm way beyond babysitters. Just ask my babysitters of the past. They'd say, yeah, that kid don't need a babysitter. He needs a jail cell. Yeah. But
Well, it's just like, I had a friend, she's, done nursing and stuff. She's like, well, if your dad needs someone there, I'd be willing to be there and take care of stuff at the house and all that. It's like, you don't understand. He's a hermit. He'd be happier if nobody's there. you know,
but to
like that.
know that, if I need them, they're
Yeah,
there.
right. It's like, yeah, if he needs someone there, he'll call him over. But otherwise, he's an old solo curmudgeon. He's gonna sit there with his PlayStation and enjoy himself by himself,
That's,
or hop on YouTube.
I I've been told growing up. I was told all the time, can't you find something to occupy yourself with? You have to be under my shoe all the time. Can't you find something for yourself to do that would interest you? And sometimes I'd be flat out honest, and I'd say no, because what you're doing is what interests me. And they'd say, well, okay, then I guess we got to put up with you. But otherwise, it was like you just tag along under shoe because you're not being imaginative enough to find something that you would enjoy. Just do it. Go do something. And sometimes I needed my friends. Boy, gotta rally up the friends. Let's go do something as a group of friends. There were other times where I was going, I've had enough of the socialization thing. I just want to sit outdoors somewhere and go do something, twiddle my thumbs even, but alone. Just go do it alone. And I don't want to die alone. And now I find out people I never knew before. I've just met them. Insist they're going to be there. I don't know. So yeah, I guess that's cool. So I won't die alone. I'm not gonna. I don't worry about that anymore. That I'm going to die alone. Hey, you betcha, step man. And there's no bowl. Step man, you take care of yourself, buddy. Stay well. It's great to see you in the bowl. I think that someone like Samantha Lee, she's such a wonderful person, and I think the world's held her back. I think the world unfairly, because like I say, the world's unfair. I think the world has unfairly held her back. And I'm fortunate. Yeah, I got my time. I got my time with her. Yeah. There you go. Ravens like me that way. Like being on your own at times. If I need a friend, I will ask them. Yeah, that's it. My positive energy. I don't know. I Samantha Lee, I think for our benefit, we don't live closer together. I would have to be very disciplined to not be knocking on your door and saying, "Get the coffee going, girl. let's just hang out and chat." I'd be bugging you all the time, girl. I just love your company. That's all. Samantha Lee, I don't know. I feel like I'm stealing energy off of her when she's with me, because yeah, she's just one of those special people out there, folks. Yeah. The mole talked about positive energy. Yeah. Samantha Lee, even when she has a very strong, legitimate bitch about things in this world that are going on, I still feel that there's that positive side of her that is so strong. It's so strong in there. I don't think Samantha Lee gives herself enough credit, but um, yeah, her energy, goes a long ways. Goes a long ways. She's one of those few people in life where you can read her face, boy. Some of her expressions are just to die for. There's times where, boy, she just warms your heart. There's other times you feel so concerned. There's other times where you just feeling like I'm going to burst out laughing. She lives through her expression, and she's beautiful at it. And I appreciate that so much. Yeah. Young at heart. Yeah, heck, I was digging through my own personal archives. Running Water probably has never even seen these. I just dug them out of the old box of photos I have stashed away in my room. A lot of folks know I talk about it. My pop, his nickname, all the way from the 50s, 1950s, early. Well, no, I take that back because it was just post World War II. So it's pre-50, late 1940s. His nickname was Porky. And then what's he do for a career? He becomes a chief of police, right in the era, in the 1960s, when they started calling cops pigs. And my pop got a kick out of it. When hippies would yell at him, "Hey, pig!" And he'd go, "What do you want? What do you need?" He took it as a compliment. They must know me. Yeah, I'm Porky. Well, I found this photo of his squad car when we moved into what I call our final family home back in the spring of 1964. I found this photo of his squad car, a 1963 Chevy Impala. Check that out. That was his squad back in the day, 1960. That was 1964. The car was a year old. Yeah, those were the days. I mean, look at the siren mounted on the fender, spotlight on the fender, the little light rack it had two flashing red lights, and then it had the red light in the center that spun, boy, times were different. Times I saw that car and I'm going, holy smokes! I can just like I threw the time in reverse. That squad car, he had only had that squad car for a few years, from 1963 to 1967, and then he traded that car in and got a new squad, a 1967 Chevy Impala that was all beefed up. It was a beast. He had a 454 in it. It had cutouts, so he ran there was headers off the motor instead of an exhaust manifold. He had cutouts, and you didn't need to hear the siren. If he was in hot pursuit after somebody in our town, you could hear his car because he pulled that lever on the dash, and it was straight exhaust right out of those headers. No back pressure on that engine at all. And you'd hear the roar of that frickin' engine. And then you'd hear the siren. And everybody's like, you'd hear that roar, and people would go, "Whoa, Porky's after somebody." Yeah. Everybody in town knew the sound of that car. That 1967 he had. Boy, that thing was hot. That was one hot squad car. But the old 63, and the guy I'm talking about, here's a picture of him, 1955 at the Spring Park Public Beach. We lived on Lake Minnetonka. The community was on Lake Minnetonka. And here's a picture of him looking out over the spring opening of the beach. Yeah, that's the old man. He was just about as big around as he was tall. Yeah, he's out there making sure everybody in the community is safe down at the public beach on the lakefront in town. And every spring, him and a crew would set up the public beach, get that slide and the docks and everything put in, and clean up the whole beach. They get the whole town out there to take care of it. But there you go, 1955. That's where I came from. That fella's standing right there. Here's another. He's with another fella that worked with the fire department back in those days, 1955. And that's how our town chief of police looked. Hey, chubby fella, and his uniform didn't stand out like a sore thumb. He just felt he was another member of the community, but he was there to keep the peace and not to do enforcement as much as just keeping the peace in town. And he did a good job of it. From 1951, 1950, there's controversy over it, either 51 or 52, all the way till 1969, he was the town's chief of police. First and last chief of police of that community. But what history? I mean, what history? Boy, has the world changed. I said that earlier. Man, the world has changed so much in my 65 years. It's just, I think about it every day. Samantha Lee, Ghostbusters car. Yeah, your dad always sees the cop friends the same way. Now, all right. I was only about 9, maybe 9 years old when they started using PEG when it came to cops. By the time I was 11, it was commonplace. I mean, yeah, pegs. And we're just getting into that, really getting into that era. For several years after that, 1969, yeah, you never called a cop. The pigs. Hey, the pigs are coming. You know, yeah, it was just common language. But my dad, he didn't care if I called him a pig. If it was in context as being a cop. But if I called him a pig because he was being messy, it was, oh, duck and run. You know. On the other hand, my mother, if she heard me call my dad a pig in a conversation, oh, I better run for the high country, man. She's after my ass. You never call your father a pig, ever. Ain't gonna happen. My dad got a kick out of it. He said, how convenient. How convenient. You know, I've been called Porky forever. And then all of a sudden now they come up with pig for a title for what I do for a living, you know. He thought that was kind of funny, but kind of cool at the same time. He did, yeah. And I have to say, maybe not through my whole life, but most my later years, the last 20 years, I've got more of his attitude towards things that, oh heck, some of, you know, if you can't take a joke, you know, what are you doing here if you can't take a joke? You know, I heard a comedian at a club once tell a couple of audience members that were heckling him. He's a good comedian too. They're heckling him and he goes, what are you even doing here? We came to hear some good comedy. And he said, well, even if it's bad comedy, what are you doing here? You shouldn't be here because you can't even take a joke. Yeah, maybe the joke's on them. They thought they're going to get good comedy, and they got there and it wasn't so good. Okay, the joke's on you. Can't you take a joke? I mean, true. That is true. That's life. I mean, life is going to throw shit at us we don't like that we go, that's off the wall. Just get a kick out of it and laugh and say, yeah, that's life. That's life, man. Life is never, ever going to be fair. All these people that believe we could have a utopian style life, they're dreaming, man. I want to know what they're smoking. I mean, because I've smoked a lot of shit. None of it ever proved to me that, yeah, it's all going to be tiptoeing through the tulips. No, no. Because you come down from it eventually and you go, well, no, shit ain't changed. It just didn't change. Yeah, I was all for love and peace 2 hours ago. Now it's like, oh, shit. Everything still just unfair and shitty. And it always will be. It's never going to be perfect. Never going to be perfect. Oh, Lordy. Oh, Lordy. So what are we going to do, right? That it is what it is. I tell you something. That's crazy, as it say. I was telling Running Water about it. He could quit driving truck and do this or live it, and he'd do pretty damn good. So they give me this medical transportation up to Duluth and back. Now, this company, Bay Mobile, they only transport people that they consider moderate risk, right? Not anybody that's got IV bags attached to them, not somebody that could have a heart attack any second, Nobody that's going to have an issue for that hour and a half drive. They're really particular about it too. They want them to make sure that from your doctor or from your clinic that you're a very low risk transport, because they're not equipped. The drivers, they've got advanced first aid. That's it. They're not first responders. They don't, they're just like a taxi cab driver, basically, with a little extra first aid. And they don't have radios in their vans or nothing. They just got the cell phone. Help, because they're just drivers. Okay. Now, like I said, it's an hour and a half drive. So there's really an hour and a half of road time that they have you in their vehicle, or each way. So 3 hours for the whole trip. That trip up there to Duluth, Minnesota for me cost $420. Now, are they paying that driver $100 an hour? $125 an hour, actually. Are they paying them $125 an hour to take me up there and bring me back? And it's not the same driver bringing you back, because they got multiple vehicles doing this, right? I was the exception. She was telling me, the driver was telling me, this is going to be great for you because you're the only one on board all the way to Duluth. She said, if this was 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the morning, there'd be probably 3 other passengers with us. I'd be hauling 4 of you at a time up there. And she said, I'll be making 2 trips on my shift. We run 3 shifts. So there's half a dozen trips a day. And she said, Usually about 20 patients. 20 people being paid that are paying $420 for that trip. Wait a minute, that's $8,000 a day. $8,000 a day running minivans an hour and a half away and back. I bet you they're paying those drivers $20 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
They work an 8-hour shift. They make $160. But in that 8-hour shift, that company made $8,000 gross. They deduct the payment on their van, the gas on the van, the maintenance on the van, and your $20 an hour. They're making $4,000 a day, every day, 5 days a week, running a couple of minivans back and forth. What the hell?
Yeah.
I want to turn the clock back. I want to go into that line of work.
Yeah, I want to get like 2, maybe 3 mini buses that has the wheelchair lift.
Yeah, see, and you get
grab
more.
that little corner of the market that they're not covering.
Right.
You know, wheelchair people that are stable. You know?
Right. See, they don't transport people that are wheelchair bound, that have to have a wheelchair, because there's nowhere in their van to be able to haul the equipment. So you have to be mobile. You can use a walker, that they'll allow, but not a wheelchair. They don't transport people in wheelchairs. And nobody with special care needs, like they've got an IV bag or equipment they got to have attached to them. Nope, we don't haul it. So they're the simplest step in medical. Basically, they're just a medical taxi. And they're making a huge amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
And when they asked me, they said, you want to get this set up and this and that? And I said, well, what's it going to cost me? They said $420. I started laughing. I said, are you freaking nuts? I said, all right, I can drive up there myself. They won't let me go home, drive myself home, because I will have been sedated. They won't let me drive home. They don't want you operating anything for 24 hours. Well, that's cool, though. I could drive up there. Attached to the damn hospital is a hotel. I could got a room at that hotel, plus my gas up there and back, and just spent the night and leave the next day when I'm allowed to drive. And it would have cost me $135 less. And that's including meals. I'd have to buy myself meals. $135 less to do it that way, stay in a nice hotel for the night. Oh, something ain't right. Something ain't right. But because I'm on such a fixed income, I was fortunate. I was very fortunate. The cancer center that I have to go to, their transportation grant ran out. And they're waiting for news on a new grant that they'll get more money to help people with transportation that just can't swing $420 a trip. I filled out a little one-page form. They sent it to their board. Their board said, yep, we'll cover it. And I asked the gal that helped me get that. I said, well, how much of it are they going to cover? She said, no, they're covering 100% of it. You'll never see a bill. You'll never, it's all taken care of. You're being transported, but the customer is the cancer center. They said, you're just like our product, and they're just moving the product for us. That they don't even know your address or your phone number. They don't know you. They just know your name. That, yeah, we got the right person. Yeah, we'll take it. Otherwise, it all goes through us. I said, well, that's freaking awesome, because that $420 would have put me down to about $35 to get through the rest of the month on. And I said, no, I can't swing that. There's no way I could swing that. And they covered it for me. But it really got me thinking, though, that amount of money. Wow. Wow. I can listen to somebody whine about all their aches and pains and their woes and whether they had a bowel movement this morning or not. If I own a little company that's making $8,000 a day, holy Jesus. Now you figure that out. I didn't crunch the numbers, but we're talking a few $100,000s annually that they're making just off running 2 minivans. Yeah. And their investment in it is nothing. It's peanuts. It's peanuts. In fact, both minivans I rode in, because I rode in their second one on the way home. Now that driver, I could tell I don't think he likes his job. I don't think he likes the driving. I had one other passenger on board with me, and oh yeah, she's one of those. She's given us all the details of all the tests they did on her and all that, and talking about her bowel movements and everything, And he's like, just looking straight down the road, turns his eyes just enough to see the mirrors. That's it. He's not answering her or nothing. And I thought, boy, he's enjoying the hell out of his job today. And I just sat in the back seat and kept my mouth shut. And she'd turn back and say, and what were you up there for? Oh, just some routine tests. I'm sitting there right after I'm going through a surgical procedure. Just some routine tests. But I did say, and what were you up there for? No, I wasn't going to feed that conversation at all. but I thought about that too, is all that you have to hear and witness. It's worth that kind of money. It would not be a bad job at all. Would not. Hey, we're going to catch us a little tiny break here. I got to shout out my channel members. They're all great folks. You gotta check these people out. It takes 40 seconds, so don't go anywhere, anybody. This only takes 40 seconds, long enough for Sty to cough and clear his lungs. We'll be right back with you. What did I tell you? That was pretty painless, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, so they put this port in me because with my new chemo, they'd be sticking IVs in me all the time, right? And the new chemo they're giving me, it's a little hot to be running through a small vein. They prefer a larger vein for that purpose. Plus, they want access to draw blood and do things, give me meds and stuff. that's quick, and convenient. So they put that port in you. Everybody I talk to is saying, the IVs are nicer. They don't hurt as much when they put the needle in you. Because they're going to stick that needle in my chest, right on top of that port. And they said, that hurts. Until I got to talking with my youngest boy yesterday. His mother has a port in her because she had cancer. God bless her. I hope she's fortunate. She's supposed to survive. She's going to survive. And her original diagnosis was worse than my original one was. They expected her to only last for 2 years. But she had small spots of cancer, nothing in the lymph nodes at all, where mine is in the liver, and I have it. It has moved to a couple of my lymph nodes for sure. So, but they stick that needle in your chest, and they said it hurts like hell. I find out our cancer clinic, that's not the way it goes. They deaden the skin, and then they put the needle in. So you hardly feel anything at all. I'm going to the right place, I'm telling you. I know it. Look at here. Hi, Gemma girl.
Hi.
Good to see ya.
How are you?
Pretty good. I'm having a good day.
I've had a great weekend myself.
Have you?
Yeah, I don't know if a lot of you know, my Australian family are in the UK on holiday, and I spent all yesterday afternoon, evening with them. I'm spending tomorrow with them as well. We went out for something to eat last night, and I'm happy to announce that we had a massive discussion about disability, and they've offered me a really opportunity of a lifetime. My aunt, who works with autistic people and people with disabilities, she wants me to go over to Australia to help out at her horse riding school for people with disabilities. So we're trying to sort out how that would work and how I can get myself over there. But it looks like I'm probably going to be going, hopefully within the next year or so, to do some.
I'm jealous.
And hopefully help out and meet some people that she works with who are on the spectrum, not myself. So
yes. And you were it was just a week ago you and I were talking about it. You were nervous about this meeting up, and good for you, girl. Good for you. I knew you'd go through it with a breeze. Yes.
It was scary, like talking to him about, because my cousin was the actual one who brought it up to me yesterday. He was like, "Oh, Gemma, so we hear you have something to tell us," and I'm like, "Oh no, here we go. This is going to be awkward." And I sat down with him at the table, and I was like, "Look, I'm very honest. I'm very open with it. I am autistic. This is when that happened, and everything else." And I was like, "Here's my YouTube channel. If you want to know anything else about me, here's every public video, every live stream I've done is on there." And it turns out that my cousin's been subscribed to me, and I haven't known for like the last 3 years. Because I do watch you, Gemma. I'm like, oh. And he goes, "I've been subscribed to you." I'm like, "Oh, great." It makes me feel like complete stupid, but okay.
But if you didn't know, you didn't know.
No, and then now my uncle and my aunt are both subscribed to me, and they're going to promote me at their horse riding school for clients who are diagnosed. So hopefully it might gain me some more stead. But I did mention you to them as well. And I said, if you want to know about a camping channel and someone who I find is inspirational, I said, he's going through a lot right now. I said, but I'm not going to say what, because it's not my place to do it. But I said, he could really do with some support right now. I said, he could really do with some new friends. And I was like, just go over there and check him out. And I sent them your link, so hopefully they'll be watching.
Cool. Yeah, you know my policy. Come into Sty Shack, leave the door open. Anybody can come in. Yeah, bring them in with you. I don't care. Let's load the place up.
So I basically talked about you yesterday for a fair bit. I'm like, look, I really want you to come over here, see him, and get to know him and his channel. And I was like, without this guy, I wouldn't be as strong as what I am. I said, this guy's always had my back, and I said, he's always supported me, and I said, it mean a lot to me if you would do me a favor. So hopefully they're going to be watching. So
Cool. If you get the chance to go to Australia, I'm going to be so jealous. My whole life, I wanted to go to Australia and go on a outback adventure. Get somebody really qualified to guide and take me out back. I wanted to see Australia. I wanted to see everything that I could in Australia and New Zealand. And
I'm determined to go. I'm definitely going to try and make an effort on my part to definitely go. And the fact that my aunt said that they'll put me up at their ranch, and I don't have to worry about a motel or anything. I can stay with them. They'll do me my dinner and everything. So I don't have to worry about food as much and things like that. So that's one less thing I have to worry about. But yeah, once they get back, because they go back the beginning of March, so I've got a few weeks to try and talk to them, and we're going to try and work something out. So
yeah, neat.
Yeah, it's in early stages being sorted. So hopefully,
awesome. That's great.
So yeah, that's my good news. I'm in quite a good mood right now. I'm kind of
I suppose especially as nervous as you seemed a week ago about this kind of reunion, and your concerns about explaining to them, and I just knew in my heart that girl's gonna she'll ace it. If it doesn't take a really good person, it just takes somebody that's got some good in them. That they'll hear you out, and they'll understand, they'll care, and they'll find out that they're working with people with disabilities. That she's working with people with disabilities. That's cool. That is so cool.
Yeah, so I've had a really good chance to explain things, and like I said, it's lessened my anxiety because now they know about my YouTube, they know about the advocacy that I do and stuff.
Right.
So, and it's gave me that closer connection to my cousins because I haven't seen my cousins. Last time they were here, I was 16. I'm now 34, so there's been a long time gap for me not seeing them.
You bet.
So, it's just been a really good time to see them, and they're all like really good advocates for things, and they love the outdoors, they love sports, they love camping and stuff like that. So we're all determined to get together at some point. So
we lost running water.
he's
out driving. If he's out driving, it's not surprising. But that's great news. I'm glad. That's making my day. I'm going to be shutting down.
Hey, Justin.
I'm going to be shutting down soon. So shout out and hi to everybody there, Gemma. They're all yelling to you. Yeah. I gotta shut down here in just a little bit because I gotta eat something. I had breakfast real early this morning, about 6:30 this morning. So I skipped my lunch. So I'm going to be eating like a pig again tonight. I know. Ain't that terrible?
That's naughty. You make yourself ill.
But I felt so good. I feel good. So
that's good. But you still have to be careful. Your body still needs nutrients and food during the day. Like I've had to, today, I nearly forgot to have my supper this evening. I had to force myself to go and cook something. I'm like, no, eat. So I had to go and cook something. I'm like, I do that too. I forget to do it sometimes. I'm like, nope, I'm hungry.
I was telling early in the stream, I was telling Running Water too, that I got so much food here in the house that I told my youngest boy yesterday, he was here visiting, and he looked through my kitchen and he goes, "Oh my God, Dad, you got enough food to feed an army." I said, "Yeah, invite all your friends over. We can have a hell of a party." I got all kinds of food. I got more food than I could ever dream of for one person. And I've got 3 steaks in the fridge. I got all these pork ribs that I can do. I got ham and chicken. I got food. And but the problem I have now is I got so much food. I walk in the kitchen, I look in my cupboard, I look in the refrigerator, I look in the freezer, and I go, it's too much to choose from. I don't know what I want to eat. So
Yeah.
I don't eat because I can't make up my mind what I'm going to eat. I got so many choices. If I only had 3 or 4 choices, it'd be easy. Oh, I'll eat that, But no, I stand there for a half hour before I decide what I'm going to eat because I got too many choices.
Yeah.
Which is in its own way good. I've gotten hooked on English muffins. I eat so many English muffins every day.
Oh, yum.
Yeah, I love my English
Honey was back.
muffins.
Hey.
Yep.
English muffins are really good. It depends the way that you for us, like we put like certain toppings on top of them. So for us, we might have English muffins with jam or marmalade or something like that.
Yeah. See, I take my English muffins, I get them toasted up real nice, and I smother them in butter, and then I put peanut butter on them, and then I put jam over that. And I just, oh, shit. I figured it out. 2 English muffins, just 2 English muffins with all the butter, peanut butter, and jam I put on them. 4 halves, 2 English muffins, comes to 980 calories.
Wow, nice.
And I sit there chowing it, and I'll do that 3 times a day. I'll eat 6 English muffins a day.
Hell yeah.
And
Why not?
and I'm eating, the worst part is I'm eating those in between my regular meals. Like yesterday I had chicken Alfredo for dinner.
Yeah.
I had roast beef and gravy with potatoes for lunch. And breakfast I had sausage, eggs, potatoes and cheese kind of bowl thing. And then in between that, I had those 6 English muffins on top. So yesterday, I know I well exceeded 3,000 calories. I went to bed so full last night because I can't lay down after I eat. I have to wait an hour to 2 hours to lay flat. Well, I tried laying down, not totally flat, but at an angle. And the food kept wanting to come back up because I don't have that sphincter that stops your food from coming up.
Oh, okay.
And so it was going to aspirate. So I ended up having to go to bed
Hey, Teresa.
with a bunch of pillows behind me, sitting straight up. I was sitting straight up sleeping last night.
Oh.
But here's the kicker that people find this hard to believe. 11 hours and 10 minutes I slept last night. Teresa, sweetie. Oh, it's good to see you, girl. Oh, there's Native Kutsa jumped in the house. There we go.
Penny.
Yeah. So I stuffed myself so much yesterday and last night that my falling behind not having lunch today ain't hurting me. It ain't hurting me, not with everything I ate yesterday. So yeah. But and that's one of their concerns is that I make sure that I keep my nutrition and lots of calories. And they said that eventually I'll start losing my appetite because of the treatments they're going to put me through. Well, I maybe I'll lose my appetite. I don't know, but I can't eat as much as I'd like to because I just keep eating. I was telling them earlier last night, sitting there in bed upright, and I got my CPAP machine on, breathing away, And I bet you it wasn't 10 minutes of getting in bed. I go, I could really use a bowl of ice cream with sliced bananas and cherries. And I'm like, but I'm sitting upright because I can't get any more in me
Yeah.
without it coming out. And I'm thinking about putting more in me. Well, that would have just made things worse to eat
Yeah,
more.
it would make it worse. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was kind of funny, I thought that's good. That's good. My appetite isn't bad. And now you're aware I went through a surgical procedure on Wednesday, and they put a port in my chest.
Okay.
And it's got a line that runs up my chest and into my jugular vein. And that's where they do I don't get IVs anymore. Everything goes through that port in my chest. They said, I'll have that port the rest of my life. And it's weird. It weirded me out.
Sure.
I got this big lump in my chest now where that thing's under the skin. And
It's normal to be weirded out. Like it's new. It's different for you. It's gonna take you a while to adjust to it. I wouldn't blame you in that aspect.
Oh, Justin. Justin is sending me some summer sausage from a company that I've been eating their summer sausage since the 1950s. I mean, we're talking 60 years, over 60 years I've eaten their summer sausage. I love their summer sausage. And that original recipe summer sausage has never changed ever in my whole life. And he's going, hopefully you keep it, the appetite. You're going to be rich in summer sausage. Well, I'll tell you, Justin, it's going through my mind I'll take that sausage, I'll slice it into slices and snack on it, or I'll just cut off a big chunk and I'll just sit there and eat off that big chunk. Or I slice it up and I throw it in a frying pan and I fry that sausage in it.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It's to die for. It gets crispy around the edges, just nice and crispy around the edges, and tastes so good. Yeah, Justin.
I just had some more good news as well yesterday. I found out about my family heritage yesterday. I found out that my dad's family line is from northwestern Europe, and apparently we've got 12% American in us, and I'm also 10% Swedish, Danish, and I'm also from around Finland. I've got ancestry from Bulgaria and other places.
Oh, wow.
My dad got the results back yesterday, so I'm planning to do a video on it in the next few days once I read through my dad's results that he's got. But he was quite happy to tell me on the phone yesterday. He's like, we've got quite a lot of mixture in us, Jim. I'm like, oh. He's like, we're American, we're Bulgarian, we're Finnish, we're Danish, we're Swedish. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm going to do an in-depth video on it. So that should be interesting.
I did. It cost me quite a bit of money, actually. This several years back, I hired an individual that does genealogy. He works for a couple of really high-end genealogical societies. He does genealogical studies on ancient findings and stuff. And I told him, I said, well, you could do a family tree, couldn't you? He goes, oh, yeah, I can, but it's not cheap. He said, fitting it in with all my other genealogical work, it's tough, but I can do one. So I hired him to do one for me, and he got our family back. I believe it's the 1300s. And we're generally, on my father's side, it seems to be mostly in the region of the Netherlands. And then migrating through the eastern edge of Western Europe, and then England, Wales, and then the U.S. our family literally migrated. Everybody in the family, our family wasn't large. Um, all of them migrated to the United States and were in New York forever. They were in New York before my great grandfather was born in New York Harbor
Nice.
in 1776, the year of the U.S. independence. So he was considered a full citizen of the U.S. He was not an immigrant. He was considered a full.
Nice.
His parents were treated as immigrants, but not him. He was a full U.S. citizen at the time.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of unusual. Then on my mother's side, her family went way back too. And it seems like they originated mostly, the farthest back is what is modern day Czechoslovakia,
Okay.
is where they're out of. And when they migrated to the U.S., that side of the family was strictly German, and then
Yeah.
they moved over. So my grandfather always swore up and down, "We're German, we're German." Well, my oldest uncle, or no, youngest uncle actually, kept telling his dad, my grandfather, but actually, Dad, we're not from Germany. We're from Czechoslovakia. Oh no, my grandfather. No way, we were no Czechs. No, no, no. Oh yeah, you were a Czech. That's but yeah, and it's that those family trees can get so interesting because
Yeah.
on that side of the family, it would have been my great grandmother and grandfather in Czechoslovakia. One of them was pure, their whole history, Catholic Church, Roman Catholic Church.
Okay.
That was the great grandfather. The great grandmother was a Moravian, which was an offshoot of the Catholic Church. They split from the Catholic Church. The village they lived in, it was a pretty big village too. They lived in, had a big Catholic church. My aunt and uncle went over there to see that original town that his great grandparents lived in. Well,
Yeah.
they get to that town and they're asking the folks. They found a place, a bed and breakfast kind of place to stay. And the town doesn't have any kind of lodging other than people will put you up in their homes, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he said, the wonderful people. He said it was really hard to spend money in that village. They wouldn't accept money for nothing. They go to the little pub and have a meal, and they go to pay for it. No, that's okay. You know, we just glad to have you here. He said that people were so awesome. They went to the church. They wanted to see the graves of my great grandparents. They got to the church. My uncle's going in the left-hand door. My aunt is going in the right-hand door at the front of this big, huge church. The minute they step in the door, they can't see each other. There's a wall.
Wow.
That church is split in half by a solid wall to that whole big chapel, everything. It's one wall separating the two halves of this church.
Yeah.
Well, my uncle, he met the priest on the side he went in and was asking him, what's the scoop here? My wife, she's here somewhere. And she's on the other side talking to the preacher from the Moravian church. And they're both getting the story from two different angles about how the church split. But rather than build a new church, because it was almost a 50-50 split in the congregation, they decided we'll share the church. We put a wall down the middle. And that's what, so you got two different beliefs in the same building, just separated by a wall. It was pretty funny.
Nice.
But it wasn't funny when they got these two preachers, take them out to the cemetery to see the graves of their grandparents. There's 6 feet between my great-great-grandfather's grave and my great-great-grandmother's grave. They're not side by side.
No.
It's a pathway. It's a pathway like through a garden, pathway. And his grave's on this side of it, her grave's on. And that's when they realized, and my uncle had asked that priest, am I right? He was Catholic. She was Moravian. Priest said, yes, that's why they're not next to each other. They're on. The cemetery is split in half, just like the church is. Her and him had different faiths, so they separated them and buried them separately. Isn't that nuts? It's just like, wow, that's so weird, but it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
And that Catholic priest they went back in the church, looking back in the records in the 1400s, and it says, well, what's surprising is at that time, there's no way he should have been allowed to marry her. That they should never have gotten married. The Catholic Church would have never recognized. They would have excommunicated him for that.
Oh, okay.
But the church was still so close. They had families that were split. Did the split. So the church decided we'll allow those families to be intermingled that way. From this day forward, we're not going to be allowing this stuff, but up to this point, we'll allow it. Well, when those two got married, it was usually the husband is to the right of the bride when they're married.
Yeah.
In their case, he was to the left of his bride because that was the Roman Catholic side of the church. She was to the right of him because that was the Moravian. And they weren't allowed to touch each other during the ceremony until he was allowed to kiss her, and they had to kiss right on the line. They had 2 people making sure they didn't cross over.
Oh wow,
they
that's
kissed
interesting.
at the line. Isn't that's nuts?
That's nuts. Yeah.
But it's cool. It's cool. It's a weird thing in history that you just go, wow.
That's similar here in the UK though, because a lot of like religious things, there is that line of checking that you are legally being to the law, and they do have what we call a watch supervisor who will literally watch every single second of the wedding to make sure that you're not overstepping anything.
Right.
If you do one wrong thing, they were
no, can't do that.
When my cousin got married back in the summer, and she went to kiss her husband, and she put one foot over what they called the boundary line to kiss him, and she was like, and she had to go up to my cousin and push her back over the line so her foot didn't cross over.
We're going to try this again, right?
So
you didn't get it right the first time. We're going to try this
another rehearsal kiss. So when she went to lean over to kiss him, they were watching her foot to make sure she didn't cross the boundary line. It was really weird.
Over here in the U.S., I went to a Orthodox Jewish wedding, and they ceremoniously it's like a handkerchief, that the 2 of them have over their hands when they're holding hands, and they take that handkerchief and they wrap a wine glass in it. They set it on the floor, and the groom, he would stomp on it and shatter the glass, and that's it. Mazel tov! Yay! They're married.
Yeah.
I felt so bad. They did everything right. Set the glass on the floor in front of that guy, and he stomped on it. It didn't break. He stomped on it a second. It still didn't break. He started jumping up and down on it, and finally it shattered. I don't know where they got that glass from, but it was tough. He thought, I'll never be married if I can't break this wine glass. He was stomping to beat hell on that thing, trying to get it to break. And the rabbi, again, he's coaching them on again. I was trying not to laugh. They're so serious. And
Yeah.
then once the wine glass broke and everybody burst out cheering and Mazel Tov, then I realized, well, okay, everything's cool. But you could tell for a moment there, this ain't cool. This ain't cool. You're screwing up our tradition here.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, it is for sure.
You have a good night there, Mr. Fulton. You take care of yourself. The yeah, I I've always been a little bit of a history buff, and I really like when it's personal family history.
Yeah, I've been doing my
That-
family tree for the last 8 years, and then it's just kind of hit a stumbling block, and then it wasn't until my dad recently managed to get some results for our family, and I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm not who we thought we were. And then when we had American, Swedish, Danish, and I'm like, oh, so we're not even British. He was like, no, technically we're not. We're Danish, Finnish, Swedish, quarter of American,
Yeah.
and we think Bulgarian or Romanian, but we're waiting to find out further details on it. But yeah, we're not technically British. We live in the UK, but our ancestry line says we're not.
That's like I had a family member, not from my immediate core family, but one of my siblings' children was all excited. We're French. We're French. Did you know we're related to this French guy and that French guy and this French? And they're just, boy, big on this. We're French. We're French. Well, I didn't spend the hundreds of dollars I did on having our genealogy traced to be told how French I am. So I went back and I looked through the bloodlines. Okay, she's getting excited over nothing. We had one Frenchie, and that Frenchie was only half French.
Okay.
So that French got diluted very quickly. And the best part of it is him and the full-blood family member, his wife was from our family.
Yeah.
And she was definitely our family. But him and her only had one child that never had children.
Yeah.
So that bloodline, the French bloodline lasted for, I think the amount of time they were married was like 36 years or something like that. So we only had a Frenchman in the family for 36 years. Otherwise, they're not related. They're not.
No.
I mean, there's no blood from that French guy in us today.
No.
Because he didn't have offspring. They didn't have children to have children to have children. So to say, yeah, we're French. No, actually, no. A Frenchman was in the family, but we're not French.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's people. The minute they see, oh, this guy, he's from such and such, we're that. Well, now you got to take a look at that guy's lineage, and how does it tie into you? Are you actually attached to that person by blood, or is it just through marriage through the tree? And that's where my genealogist that went through it said it was everything had to have a third witness to it. So if he found a record on somebody in our family, he had to find 2 additional proofs that person is who they are.
Yeah.
So that's why he only got back to the 14 or 1300s, because the family at that time got very convoluted, and record keeping and that type of thing was pretty scarce in those days. But but the family had ties with some high-end royal, level people in England and Wales, but we were so far outside of their base family that it really didn't matter, it had no significance to it. But
No.
the blood is there, but nothing beyond that.
Yeah.
And hey, Mystic Bunny, it's good to see you, Jan. I'm going to be wrapping up here in about 5 minutes. I'm sorry, girl, but it's so good to see you. So I hope you and John are doing well. Yeah, I'm still feeling some aches and pains from that procedure they did on me, and
Yeah. I'm not
that
surprised.
putting that port in, I thought that'll be the easy part. And because they did a biopsy of my liver also, and they took 6 separate biopsies on my liver, and I couldn't believe the pain I had in my chest because they go between 2 ribs to get to your liver, and that hurt so bad the first day. Then it went from that hurting bad to where they put the port in and where they went into my neck to the jugular vein. That started hurting so damn bad. And then my very first day home, by 20 after 4 in the afternoon, I called my doctor's office and I said to the nurse, I said, is there anything they can do about the pain? And she said, oh, I'll call you right back. She called me back. She said, get your boots on. You're heading over to your pharmacy. They're filling your prescription right now. It'll be ready by the time you get there. I said, really, that fast? She said, yeah. Doctor said, send them over there. It'll be ready for them. And it was. I walked in, and it's an opiate. So they weren't legally supposed to fill that until I was there in the building with my identification. They weren't supposed to even touch it. Oh, no, it was all filled in the bottle ready for me. And I walked in, showed them my driver's license. They said, there it is. Thank you. You're out of here. Doctor says, get home and take one quick. So I did. Came home, and they gave me some oxycodone. And so I got about 3 hours of sleep Wednesday night. Thursday night, I took I did really, all day Thursday, I was taking one every 4 hours. That's the max I'm allowed, is one every 4 hours. And I took 4 of them throughout the day, right up until bedtime. I went to bed, slept for over 8 hours, almost 9 hours. And then last night, I only took one. I didn't take one all day. Last night, I took one, and I slept for 11 hours.
Yay!
I haven't slept for 11 hours, and I don't know how long. Hey, Robert, good to see you. The Mystic Bunny and John just got home from Illinois. They took a trip down to Illinois.
That just
over
proves
to
how strong you are, because you know you've gone through a lot on a short space of time, and I don't think people give you enough credit. Like you've gone through so much and proved to people, you know. That
I'll tell you, I proved I've gotten whippy on some of this stuff. Got pretty whippy about some things. I'm at the hospital and they're prepping me to do this procedure, and I said, "Now you are I'm all prepped, and they're getting ready to take me to the operating room, right?" And I said, "Now you're going to knock me out, right? So I don't know nothing that you're doing." Well, we don't knock you out. We sedate you, and then we give you an what is that? Anti-anxiety med.
Yeah.
And they said, you won't care what we do to you. I said, whoa. Is there a chance of me being awake and realizing what you're doing? A little bit, but you won't care. I said, oh yeah. If I come to and I know what you're doing to me, you'll find out why you should have knocked me out, because whoever stand close to me, I'll knock them right on the floor. I'll knock them out. I don't want to know nothing. I want you to wheel me down there, and they say, good night, Sty, and you knock my ass out, and I wake up back in my room, and then I'll worry about it. Well, the anesthesiologist, he told me I can't knock you completely out. Otherwise, we have to ventilate you. We have to put a tube down your throat. down your airway, all this other stuff. And he said the procedure's only about 45 minutes. And he said, we don't use generals on people for such short procedures. He said, but I'm good at my job. He says, I will put you at a point that you aren't going to feel anything. And you're going to have enough anti-anxiety that if you do feel something, you'll probably laugh about it. He said, I just want you to think it's time for a nice nap. And he says, and get it in your mind, you're going to take a nap and you wake up to things have changed. Well, it worked, man. It wasn't 3 minutes after he talked to me, they put me down, did their work. I woke up in the room and I'm going, I'm back in my room. Did they even do it? And then I felt it. I go, oh, wow. And they said, yeah, it's all done. You're done.
Hey, JJ.
It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. They took good care of me because I told them, I said, at this stage of the game, no, if it's going to hurt, it ain't happening. No, you don't do nothing.
I thought they were going to knock me out for my carpal tunnel surgery because they knocked me out for my first one. And I'm like,
right.
Oh, good. I'm going to be knocked out, not going to feel anything. And he was like, no, it doesn't work like that anymore. I'm like, oh.
Right.
He goes, we'll numb you and we'll kind of temporarily sedate you, but you're not going to feel anything. I'm like, but I know I do feel stuff. I'm very heightened to pain. He goes, no, you won't feel anything. And literally, just a numbing cream that got put on my hand, and that was it. The rest of it.
And then I found out, when they put that needle in my chest now, instead of giving me IVs, they go right through my chest. I said, that's going to hurt. They said, nope. The cancer clinic that I use, they deaden the skin before they insert that. So they said, you'll feel the pressure of it going in, but you won't feel any pain. They said they do a very good job. Hey, Justin, thank you, buddy. I'll get that off to you right away. Let's see here. I'm trying. Yeah, I'll get it to you. Oh, there you are. I'm sending it as a reply to you, buddy. This will only take me a second, folks. I hope.
No worries, you're good.
The problem I have is
I also wanted to tell you, Sty, and everyone who's still in the chat, everyone needs to be so proud of what Sty's gone through. Like, he's one of the most inspirational people that I've met on this platform. He's gone through such a lot of surgery and recovery and then having to deal with more surgery and everything else on top of it. And I think a lot of people who aren't as strong as Sty or who feel they can't deal with it, like, to prove that Sty's gone through it and survived it and is still living it and experiencing it and telling people how it is, like, a lot of us are taking life for granted, and Sty being here and explaining everything, life is for living and you have to make the best of it. And seeing Sty do the best that he can, proving against the odds in his situation and trying to live the best life that he can on the remaining time that he has, it's special. And I'm beyond proud of you and what you've done for a lot of people, including myself, who have gone through stuff. And if it wasn't for people like you, I probably wouldn't be here.
Well, I appreciate that. I do. I appreciate that. And I've convinced myself I am not going to present myself to other people as poor old me. I'm dying. I'm weak. I'm tired. Poor me. No, I want to present myself as, hey, I'm alive today. That's good. I'm alive today. And I'm going to do that straight to the end as long as I possibly can.
Absolutely.
And I just want people to remember. I don't want people to say, oh my gosh, for 6 months or a year and a half, we had to watch Sty be miserable on his live streams and he's not happy, he's not well, he's that terrible. No, I want you to see me the way I want to be seen, the way
Yeah.
and I might be miserable, but if I'm smiling at you, it's because I want to smile at you.
Yeah, exactly.
And there you go, Justin. I'm glad you got it. See you next week, buddy.
I just wanted you to know from my perspective how I felt, and to know that I do really appreciate what you've gone through, because how you share things with us and with me and everyone, like, it is inspirational, because it makes you think about life in different perspective, and seeing what you've experienced, and it does open your eyes up to a lot of different things.
And the feeling's mutual, girl. And I want everybody out there to know that, all right, you guys can admire me as much as you want. I can't stop you. But I admire you too. I admire you too. And you can't stop me.
No, I wouldn't want to.
I look at it this way. Life's unfair, but we're all on the same ride. We're all going down this road together. And,
oh, yeah.
And I want it to be as good of a trip as possible, right to the end. I want it to be as good as we can possibly make it. And I want that positiveness. I want people to be positive about things.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just be positive. Right up to the last minute, let's be positive.
Oh, yeah, of course, always. Yeah.
And
positive is always what we're going to be. It's what we choose to be. Positivity is essential for everybody.
And it's totally understood how difficult it can be to be positive sometimes. There's times where you just like, whoa, I ain't got nothing to be positive about.
Oh, yeah.
We all end up there, but that's what we need our friends for, is to help us be positive again, and so I'm just glad that we can all lean on each other and help each other try to stay as positive as possible. And I actually had somebody, I won't identify who they are, but I actually had somebody say, well, Running Water seems to be taking this pretty easy. I said, well, doesn't mean he's taking it easy. It just means
no, of course it doesn't.
He accepts where I'm at with it. He can accept that.
Yeah.
And I hope everybody else can learn to just accept that Sty's not going to be here forever. It's going to be like the day will come where all of a sudden, oh, doggone it, the cell phone went down. I lost Sty. His cell phone went down. Yeah, that's the way I want it to be, and then.
Well, and I had someone at work ask, and when I was taking time off, because they found out about that you're terminal, and they're like, yeah, when you're taking time off, to be there. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. They're like, well, but you should be there. I'm like,
no.
Dying or not, my old man would beat my ass if I took and shirked on my responsibilities just to be there for something that's not going to change anything.
Absolutely. The only thing that would change is I'd have somebody other than myself to talk to or bitch at in the house. Otherwise, nothing's going to change. And like I said early in this stream, you got a job to do. You got life. You got life ahead of you. You got to keep living. You can't stop living because somebody else is going to stop living. No. You have to go on with your life. Now, being there when you can be and still go on living, that's cool. But don't intentionally drop everything to be there with somebody that's I don't feel alone. I guess I'd feel differently if I felt lonely. I feel so alone. Then it might be different. I'd want somebody here with me. I don't need somebody here with me because I know they're out there if I need them. That's what gets me through every day is, hey, I got a huge and my hands are full of people I can reach out to if I have to. So, no, let's just go on with life what we can. For me, it's just not going to be as long as everybody else. So let's just live. Let's just live. Let's just, instead of dying, let's live while I can. Right?
Yeah,
I-
I actually mentioned you the other day when I went to my BBC recording, and I actually mentioned you. And I said, look, this is one of the inspirational channels that I follow, and I said, he gives me a lot of strength. I said, when I feel rubbish, or if I have a good day, or if I doubt myself, I've gone on the phone with him. I'm like, and I said, you know what? I said, if it wasn't for him giving that little bit of a motivation to kick up the backside, I said, I probably wouldn't be as strong as what I am now. I said, without people like him, I said, I'd be worse off. And he was like, you really are strong about your opinions, aren't you? I'm like, yeah, pretty much.
yeah. Hey, me Dibble. Yeah, running water. What we see is a black screen in your cigarette once in a while. And so, so it must be dark in the cab. Ooh. We got a red glowing UFO. Unexplainable. I like that. I watched this documentary thing on UFOs last night. It was short, but I liked what this one guy was saying. He's an astrophysicist or some shit like that. He goes, we need to retitle this stuff as a lot of these UFO sightings. We all say they're unidentified flying objects. He said, in a lot of these cases, it shouldn't be unidentified. It should be unexplainable. These are unexplainable flying objects because some of the things that they do is unexplainable. We can't say, how did it move like that? That's not unidentified because we know it's an object. We don't know really what object it is, but the things it's doing are unexplainable. He says, he says, I don't call them unidentified anymore. I call them unexplainable. There's an unexplainable flying object. Explain that one to me. Where did that come from? And I get his point. Yeah. If I seen a Martian walking down the street, I'd go, well, I wouldn't say that's an unidentified something or other. I'd say, explain that one. Explain that to me. What the hell is that? Explain that to me. I got his point.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes sense.
And that's running water down there with his glow in the dark. He's an unexplainable moving object. Oh boy.
Yeah, I got about 3 more miles and I'm done.
Nice.
You're done for the day.
Parking spot and
and
I'll be 10 miles from the delivery. So.
Oh, nice and
tomorrow
close.
morning, start off, and I can actually get some good miles in tomorrow too.
There you go. Pound the road. Pound that pavement.
And it's a good time to stop because it's starting to snow.
Oh yeah, good time to stop. In fact, it's probably it's probably a good time for us to stop on the stream too. I do need to eat. I do need to. I'm feeling hungry.
Woo-hoo.
So with that, guys, Running Water and Gemma, love having you guys up here this Sunday. I make sure me Dibble says I see unidentified flying objects all the time, and then I find out what they are. Yeah. You won't know what they are. They're unidentified until you figure out what the hell it was. Oh, that's what it was. Okay. Then you can't say to somebody, I saw an unidentified flying object. Well, you found out what it was, right? Well, yeah. Well, it's not unidentified. It is identified. And might not be identified by you. But somebody knows what the hell it is. somebody somewhere knows what the hell it really is. So it's only unidentified to you. So yeah. So keep that in mind for when the spacemen come snooping around your place, right? The world is weird, and we're stuck in it, So, hey, words and pictures. It's popping up saying thanks, Sty, Gemma, and Running Water. I had a gut feeling words and pictures was hanging out here somewhere. It was great to see you. And with that, let's say goodbye to everybody, and we're going to grab that girl in the fur coat out on the porch, and we're going to do the shuffle on out of here, and I'll see you all next Sunday. Same time, same place. So, all of you, take good care of yourselves. Keep your chins up, stay positive, and I'll see you all soon. There's Running Water waving down there. Okay, guys, we're out of here. Bye-bye.